What brings a civil rights icon and a white conservative Republican mayor together?
Health care. I think it's something that Republicans and Democrats, all of us, can work together on. And I hope that through our walk and through our efforts over the next few weeks, we can get Republicans and Democrats to see this health care issue with rural hospitals has to be solved, and it's going to take everybody working together.
Okay, so you are a mayor of a small town in rural North Carolina, and because Pat McCrory and the Republican legislature of North Carolina has decided not to take Medicare expansion money from the federal government, your local hospital went out of business, I understand. In fact, I understand a 48-year-old woman died as a result of this.
That is part of it. North Carolina has turned down Medicaid expansion, which has taken $2 billion out of our health care system, which has an effect. $2 billion has an effect. And but in our situation, we also have a big healthcare conglomerate that came in and bought our hospital, or basically took it over. Didn't buy it, took it over with $1 million more assets and liabilities. And this nonprofit healthcare conglomerate, who made $109 million in 2013, decided to close our critical access hospital that lost $1 million.
Wow!
So we weren't even the hospital that lost the most money. We were a third or fourth as far as that goes with their non-hospitals. But this critical access hospital that was put there by the Hill-Burton Act, Republicans and Democrats coming together, Vidant Health decided to close our hospital after a year where they, as a nonprofit, made $109 million.
So you're not only dealing with the lack of funding because Medicaid expansion is not being taken by North Carolina, but you're also dealing with a corporate monolith. With one, these are the problems that came out of in 1982. Basically, Ronald Reagan decided to no longer enforce the Sherman Antitrust Act, and the consequence of that was a decade of mergers and acquisitions and all this M&A frenzy. And now we've got these giant corporations that are big enough to back down governments. I mean, they're backing you down, apparently.
They have terrific political influence, and we're feeling it. These guys, once again, now listen to this. They've got $550 million in the bank in reserves. They made $127 million in 2012. They made $109 in 2013, and are closing a critical access hospital, which means people are having to spend another half an hour on an ambulance to get emergency care. We just had a lady die last week, Monday a week ago. We just had a lady die of a heart attack waiting for a helicopter for an hour. In 30 minutes, she could have been at the hands of an emergency room physician with all the tools, all the medicines that they would have. Instead, Vidant closed our critical access hospital, and that lady didn't have as good a chance, and she died as the helicopter was landing. That's why I'm walking, because people are dying. And it's not just Belhaven, it's across this country. More rural hospitals have closed in the last year than the last 15 years. And people need to know this, and we've got to stop this trend.
Right. So we're talking with Mayor Adam O'Neill. He's the Republican mayor of Belhaven, North Carolina. He is marching from Belhaven to Washington, D.C.